Thank you for joining. We will be starting in a couple minutes, and you have joined the PIHRA membership orientation. So thanks again, and we'll be starting promptly at noon. Welcome. Okay, it's noon, so let's get this started. I know that we all have full days and it's been quite a year, so I want to maximize our time together. We have right around 15 people that have joined so far. A little bit of housekeeping. You will get the slides from this presentation within an hour after we finish. We'll be together for right around 45 minutes, and I do talk a lot, so I'll try not to go over, but I do want to respect and honor your time. So we're together for 45 minutes. This is being recorded. So I will also give you access to the recording, and it should be available early next week at the latest. And we will be interacting through the Q&A box, and I'm here with my awesome right hand, Elisette, who you should be seeing on video. She'll introduce herself in a moment. And so she'll be making sure that all of the questions are answered, and we'll be responding via the chat box, but I most likely will also be responding live. So yeah, feel free to chat us up as well, and we'll get going. What are we doing here today? So I don't have an agenda for today, but basically what I'm going to do is we're going to do a general update on what's going on with PIHRA as an association. I'm going to do a quick poll because I do want to prioritize what you guys want out of this, and I'll do my best to do that. So we'll do a poll, and then we'll get to talk about an overview, what's our mission, who we are. We'll talk about some member benefits, and I'll highlight a couple of them for you. We'll talk about our training and professional development, and I'll give you a list of some things that we have coming up. And we'll make sure that we answer all the questions. I'll be pausing throughout the presentation to answer questions, but at the end, hopefully I'll save some time, and we'll get to any additional questions. Again, like I said, we will provide you with these slides afterwards, and probably with some links for additional information to follow up on any questions that you had. So, general update. The health and safety of our HR community and our additional stakeholders is of utmost priority for us. We have, I think in March, we stopped all of our face-to-face meetings, and the board, I believe right around July, decided to put a moratorium on all chapter meetings that are face-to-face through the end of this year. I don't have an update as to how far that's going to last. into 2021. But the good news is that there's talks about vaccination, and so we're really hoping that the therapeutics will be available at least by mid 2021, so that we can start meeting face to face. I know a lot of people miss that. I miss that. I miss going into work and seeing Elisette every day. But again, we are taking guidance from the World Health Association, the CDC, and government officials. And as you know, right now we are having an uptick in the infectious rate. So we're being extremely careful. And again, your health and safety is our top priority. What has that meant for us? That's meant that we've gone virtual. So a lot of you have probably heard about our webinars. Before November, we were actually having 2 to 3 webinars a week. And then we had our conference, which went virtual. And I thought it was a great success. We got a lot of great feedback. And our legal update will be virtual as well. So a lot of virtual things. And I'm excited about it because I think we needed to do that for a while. We also have a webpage for any coronavirus resources that we have available. And I'll talk about some additional resources as well. I do see a chat. Anything I need to pay attention to? Or hi, everybody.
No.
Good. Okay, good. And thank you for joining. If you just joined, welcome, welcome. So let's do a couple of introductions here next. My name is Lily Arguello. I didn't introduce myself before, and I'm the Director of Membership at PIHRA. I love working with PIHRA, and I have an organizational development background. I went straight into a boutique consulting firm after undergraduate. At the time, I was working for a professor at the Graduate School of Management, the Anderson School now. And that's how I started off my career. So I have 13 years of solid OD experience. And then I went into the nonprofit field. I came here from the Girl Scouts of Greater LA, where I was doing building up the leadership program in the inner cities, mostly Hispanic areas, through partnership building and the membership function. So I was recruited away. I got this job through LinkedIn. And it was because I also volunteer. I spend a lot of my time, well, I kind of took a hiatus back in 2019 for volunteering, but I'd spend a lot of my time volunteering and taking on leadership positions in community organizations. And so that's how and if you have questions about that, I will be talking about that, because volunteerism is something I promote a lot, particularly if you want to grow in your career. So that's how I got this job. If anyone wants to talk to me about that, let's schedule some time to chat. Before I let Elisette introduce herself, I also want to introduce you to Jason Renda. Jason Renda is the chair of the membership committee. I work with him. He's a volunteer leader. We are primarily volunteer led. And I'll talk through this presentation. I'll be talking about that. Right now, he's actually moved to, I believe it's North Carolina. He got this great offer, HR position in North Carolina. So that role is actually transitioning to a new appointee. But he's great, and he's very accessible. He's, I believe he's a SPHR, and it's been great to work with him. And so Jason, if you're listening, or if anyone out there knows Jason, he's awesome. Thank you so much for your service to PIHRA. And my right hand is with me. So Elisette is probably the first person you're gonna connect with when you call or you email our membership line or our info line or through the website. So Elisette, please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Lily. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Elisette Sapien. I'm the membership coordinator here at PIHRA, and my journey started 4 years ago. So I've been with PIHRA for 4 years now. And
it's your anniversary, right?
It is. That's true. It is. Yay. That's so funny. I landed on the orientation. But yeah, it's been 4 years that have gone by so fast, and it's been great. I love working with PIHRA as well. And like Lily mentioned, I am likely the first person that you get to speak to if you call the main number or if you call the membership line. So I am going to be interacting with you via the chat box and the Q&A. So let me know if you have any questions.
Great, great. And I see some familiar names. I see a new member that's joined us today, Elisa. Jonathan, I think it's Zorba. Welcome, Jonathan. I'm glad you're here. So I'm going to move forward. What we have next, and what I mentioned earlier, is that I really want to focus on your priorities. So I'm going to do my best to focus on what we hear you say. And we're going to launch a poll. Elisa, are you going to help me with that one? Awesome. So in a couple seconds, you're going to see a poll launch. And I want to know, what did you come to this 45-minute webinar for? What is that one thing that you want to walk away with? Because I am going to take notes, and it's going to be in front of me so that I can remember to focus there and kind of speed through some of the other things, because we only have 45 minutes and there's a lot to cover. So, all right, we're 20 seconds in. I see a lot of networking opportunities. Come on, everybody. We have 20 of you, so only half have participated. Don't waste your 45 minutes, please. All right. Looks like networking is coming at the top. The SHRM relationship is second. If I'm not seeing the SHRM. Okay. Let's give it another 3 seconds, and then we'll share the results. All right, let's end the poll and just take a quick look. All right, we're sharing the results. So networking seemed to be number 1. HR certification and PIHRA, SHRM are kind of 2 and 3. So we'll cover a lot of this, but I'm going to spend as much time as I can on the networking piece. That's huge. And I do have some slides about PIHRA and SHRM and why we're better together. And we'll talk a little bit about HR certification. So I'm going to stop sharing the results, and yeah, let's move forward. Any questions or anything else that I need to focus on? I don't think so. All right. So basically what we're going to do, I'll kind of weave in the networking piece, but because that was number 1 on your list, this is a place to network. Through the overview, and I'm going to share our mission with you right now. We are the largest SHRM affiliate in the world. SHRM will not confirm that for me, but I do have all the reports for the nation. So I do know that PIHRA is the largest SHRM affiliate in the US. What does that mean? That means that when you join PIHRA or you attend our events, you are basically connecting with the largest local HR community in the country. And so networking with this community is important, because a great statistic, and you guys have probably heard this. If you haven't, I believe it's out of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And what they found in the last, I think it's within the last 5 years, and it kind of ranges from 70% to 80%, but 70 to 80% of the people who find their job, they find it through their network. And the one message that I want you to move away with, it's not just about networking and passing business cards back and forth. It's about really getting to know people. And I'll tell you my opinion and my guidance in terms of networking. Again, it's not just about going to an event and I network. It's about connecting with people, having ongoing conversations with people. It's about people getting to know you. And the way to do that is through volunteerism. So if you really want to gain exposure into the HR community, volunteer. And I'm going to talk to you about that. So what's our mission? Our mission is to engage, elevate, and serve the California HR community through programming. We do the best we can to find innovative speakers and innovative content for you. Now we've gone virtual, which we had been wanting to do, and the pandemic forced us into it. And high impact networking opportunities. We have not stopped networking, and I'm going to talk about our Zoom chats. They're free for members. Join a chat. Make it a goal. for yourself, if you're really interested in networking, make it your goal to attend at least one Zoom chat per quarter. Like I said, I don't think anyone's going back to face-to-face meetings till at least the second half of 2021. So don't sit on your hands. I'll tell you a secret. I am very apprehensive of going to networking events and socializing. So I have to write it on my calendar. I have to set goals for myself. And the more I go, the more comfortable I get, because then I get to know people. So it's been my job to be in front of, senior managers and in front of people, but that's not my nature. I've had to set goals for myself to do that. So hopefully that encourages you. But that's who we are. And, we do work with SHRM. We're actually hosting a webinar with them on December 18th. I don't know if it's up on the calendar yet. But and we'll talk a little bit more about our relationship with SHRM. And if you have any questions specifically about that relationship, let me know. But basically, we were, let me go back for a second. I didn't tell you one of the things I love to say at this point. We were established in 1944 by a group of personnel managers in downtown Los Angeles. So if some of you have been around PIHRA for a while, and this is just a refresher for you, you might remember that we used to call our chapters districts. And PIHRA Los Angeles was District 1. And the reason is because that was our first chapter. This group of gentlemen, I'm sure, got together and said, you know what, we need to really work for our profession. Do we need to think about certifications for people? What sort of education do HR people, and they were called personnel managers back then, or personnel employees, what sort of education do they need? How are they going to make their mark in an organization? And so that's how PIHRA established. And we were established, I think it was like right around 4 years before SHRM was. Now, obviously SHRM has, gosh, I think they have 200,000 members. I'm going to show you how many members we have now. And I believe it's 500 affiliates. So they've outgrown us, but we were around a little bit before them, and they were established somewhere in the Midwest. I want to say Indiana or Indianapolis, but I don't have my notes in front of me on that. So who are our members? We were right around 4,500 members, but we got hit by the pandemic. A lot of people aren't able to convince their employers that this is value for them. They're watching their money. So, and I get it. I feel the same way right now. I'm like, what's going to happen? So we shrunk a little bit. We're right around 4,200 members. 34% of our members are HR certified. And by the way, if you do have questions, I just want to remind you, put them in the question box, because at least that will respond. And I do also want to go live with the questions, because I want to make sure everyone hears the response and the questions that we're getting. So 32% of our members are HR certified, and they're certified, I think that was one of your questions out there. They're certified by both HRCI, so hrci.org is 40 years old, and they are the agency who developed the SPHR, PHR, PHR California, and a couple other certifications out there. And our members are also certified by SHRM. So in 2015, SHRM decided they were going to put out their own certification, and their certification is the SHRM CP and the SHRM SCP. I am taking the SHRM SCP in January, and I'm a little freaked out about it. So if anyone wants to take the exam early next year, let me know, because I got a study group going. And I realized that nationwide HR practitioners, in terms of the percentage that are certified, are right around 34%. So if you want to differentiate yourself out there in the marketplace and get that job of your dreams and make a little bit more money, get certified. Get certified. I'll talk a little bit more. Right now, we don't have any prep courses. So we are not a certification agency. Just be clear, sometimes that gets confusing, but we do provide preparation courses, and we have one of the best certification prep instructors, Richard Dawson, and I've seen a couple of them in action, I think on the West Coast. So we are planning on having a prep course, I think in early next year. So if you're interested, either email me later or, let's ask a question now while we're together so we can get through this. Some other things to note is right around 34% of our members are at the manager generalist level, 34% are at the HR director plus level. We also have service providers. These are folks, we call them service providers. These are folks who are natural partners to the HR profession. They are the insurance brokers, the financial advisors, the retirement broker guys, I don't know what to call them, or ladies, and the staffing agents, the PEO folks. So what I want to tell you about them is that they are the connectors within our community. It's their job to be very well networked in the HR community. So if you are looking for a position in another organization or a higher level, or to get exposure to those sorts of positions, start networking with the service providers. Most of them aren't too aggressive because most of them are on the business development side. A lot of our service providers, they know that we ask them not to be aggressive in terms of sales. So they're very relationship driven and good people to know. Top 3 industries represented by our members are manufacturing, consulting, and healthcare. So any questions yet, Elisette?
Yeah, we have 2 questions. Is there a contact directory of all members whom we can talk to? That's one of the questions.
Yeah, so when we follow up with you, there is a membership directory. I gotta tell you, and I'll be honest, it's not the greatest directory. We've decided not to publish a directory because we were really afraid that people were getting, and we got some feedback that our HR people did not want to be contacted in a cold call way. We do have service providers out there who will call to sell. And so that's really not what this is for. It's for building relationships. And so there is a directory. We'll email you the link. You do have to be a member for that. And it's all online. So you would find people through keywords. Is it a robust search engine? No. So I definitely suggest that you get into, start registering for our chats. And then when we open up our meetings, start attending meetings if that's something that you really would like to do. I hope that answers that question. Any other questions?
Yeah, Christiane is asking about the 2021 prep classes. Her question is, could I find out about the 2021 prep sessions at the end of today's meeting?
So I don't have specific information about that because we are in the middle of scheduling it. So Christiane, hi, how are you? We don't have a date yet, but we will give you a link. It's PIHRA.org/HR certification for some general information. If that's not enough, because you have some specific questions in terms of which certification is right for you and things like that, then we could chat offline. But again, we don't have a date for the prep course. And some pricing, I might be able to give you some pricing, but let's talk offline about that. But if you could put that in the chat, PIHRA.org/HR certification, and they could go look there. Anything else?
Yeah, one more. Is there a way to keep out information private and not searchable in the PIHRA member directory?
I believe there is. You can go to preferences, and Elisette, can you make a note to provide instructions for that? I think they're in our member FAQ section, but I'm not sure. But you can go into your preferences and make sure that people don't contact you or your information is not visible. I believe so. I believe there's a way to do that, right? Anything else?
And I think we're good for now.
All right, let's move forward. So I want to talk to you about our chapters. This is our geographic footprint, this map that you're seeing. And we have 18 chapters now. We in October, we just affiliated PIHRA San Diego, our newest chapter. So excited about expanding. We have 78 members in San Diego. We're probably going to be focused in the North San Diego County area. We have, if there's any questions about our chapters, please let me know. Basically, when you become a member, you select a preferred chapter. That chapter could be a chapter that's convenient for you. Again, we haven't met since the beginning of this month. We hope to, usually under normal circumstances, our chapters meet once a month. So there's a lot of, and each meeting, there is an additional cost for the meetings. Another thing to note is that even though you have a preferred chapter, you can go to any chapter event and they all have different programmatic content. So what to expect at a chapter meeting. There'll be a networking component, there'll be a meal, so that's why there's a cost. It's usually at a country club or a hotel, and I'll give you some examples. And then there is professional development where you can receive recertification credit for your HRCI certification or your SHRM certification. Quick note, so for example, we have PIHRA South OC. Let's see if I can, I'm not going to even let's see something if I can. I was trying to use some controls, but I don't see them here. So in the effort to move quickly, so South OC is right around here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. They meet out of Newport Beach, and usually they meet out of the Radisson in Newport Beach. That's our largest chapter. At their largest, they had 700 members. If you go to one of those meetings, you'll expect to see between 75 and 100 people at their meetings, and they're a great group. Our second largest chapter is PIHRA Los Angeles. In their example, they meet for breakfast, and they meet at they have met at the City Club. So all of our chapters are hosting Zoom chats. Some of the chats are just informal networking, and some have a topic and a facilitator. There's one coming up I'm going to tell you about. I have a list of them. Hopefully I'll get to them because I'm talking a lot now. But there's one coming up in Woodland Hills with Sherry Shivett, and she's an attorney. So it's ask the attorney anything you want. I love that topic. So we're having those happening now. But again, under normal circumstances, our chapters meet monthly. We go as far east as Coachella Valley. They meet out of Desert Hot Springs. We go as far north as Antelope Valley. They meet out of Lancaster. And we go all the way to the beach. So PIHRA West Los Angeles meets out of Brentwood or Santa Monica sometimes. And in addition, we have 9 student chapters, and we're starting a couple new ones. I went to UCLA as an undergraduate, so I'm really excited about the UCLA PIHRA at UCLA chapter that we're forming. Hopefully that'll come online at the beginning of next year. We're also forming on my rival side, PIHRA USC. So hopefully they'll be affiliating early next year as well. But we have Cal State Long Beach, Cal State LA, UCI is a student chapter. So really excited about our chapters. And we also have 3 specialty groups, which I'm going to talk about next. Elisa, any questions or anything I can respond to?
Yeah, we have a question about PIHRA San Diego.
Yes.
Let me see where that question is.
Is it in the chat box?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. When will the San Diego chapter start? And I think Zora might have jumped off, but we can answer the question.
Oh yeah, so PIHRA San Diego, they've actually already been doing Zoom meetings. They sent out an email with me yesterday, and they are asking the PIHRA San Diego members to respond to a survey so they can provide you with the content that you want. Again, they're not meeting face-to-face until restrictions are uplifted, but they will be doing some virtual events with us. So probably starting at the beginning of the year, just because we're late in the year right now. But they have reached out to them, I know, because I worked with them and sent that out yesterday. So We've already been doing stuff in San Diego starting last year. We had a couple mixers, we had our legal update. So we've already been doing some programs there, and now we just have a board out there. By the way, I didn't mention each of our chapters and our specialty groups have their own board. So it's a great place for you to volunteer and get to know people and get active and hone your leadership skills. So if you're looking to network and to find a new position or something exciting for yourself, or really get integrated into our community, volunteer leadership is a way to go. These are opportunities for you. This is your first step, in my opinion. If you want to take on a role or even kind of an ad hoc position, I can connect you with these boards so that you can talk to them about any vacancies or any help they may need if you want to take kind of a little position, or if you want to take a full year-long position. That's really up to you, but get engaged with them. So the PIHRA Foundation is its own 501c3. It's a separate entity, and they raise money to provide scholarships. And these scholarships, you do not have to be a PIHRA member to win an award. And they provide scholarships for individuals who are getting their HR degrees and who are looking to get certified. So if you are interested in certification, or say you've already been certified in the last 3 months, you can apply for the scholarship. Unfortunately, the deadline just passed, but the way the HR certification scholarship works is that you pay for it on your own, and then once you pass, you get reimbursement. So that's how that works. And reach out to them if you have any questions. We also have the Club PIHRA group. This is the fun side of HR. And basically what they focus on is the HR practitioner who's responsible for corporate events, employee recognition, the holiday party, the summer picnic for all your employees. And so, but usually under normal circumstances, and again, you guys get it, we're not under normal circumstances right now, but they have fun events. For example, they'll go to Six Flags Magic Mountain. They will have a vendor fair. So you'll be introduced to event planners, people who could put together a casino night for you, venue, folks representing venues. And they'll also have a meal, and they'll have some professional development so you can get certification credits if you want. And in this example, when they go to Six Flags or they go to Knott's, you'll be able to go into the park, and it's all real reasonably priced. It's only like $35 for members. So great opportunity to meet some people, get some professional development. And I would take my daughter, who's 10, for $35 and go hang out at Six Flags for the rest of the day. So this is a real great group. Anything I should be paying attention to in the chat box, Elisa?
No, I don't think we have a question yet. But
okay, great.
Yeah, keep asking.
I'm gonna keep asking.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't go past 12:45. I am really proud of this specialty group. It's PIHRA Emerging Leaders, formerly Young Professionals, and I helped launch this group in 2015. And the reason I'm proud of them is twofold. One, we won the SHRM Pinnacle Award in 2015 for our work in this area. And the other, it's been self-sustaining. So this group has their own board. If you're a young professional or you're emerging into HR after being in a different career, check this group out. They're a great group. They've been doing virtual chats, and they just exist to encourage people who are interested in HR and help you get connected with other HR folks, both at the entry level, mid-level, and senior level. They've had chats such as this one here. They had a happy hour around COVID and how COVID's reshaping HR. So please connect with them. They've gone through a name change, but we haven't gone through a whole change of their social media and things like that. But search for them on Twitter at PIHRA. I don't think that's changed. Or on LinkedIn, a great group to be connected with. And if you want to volunteer, you can volunteer with them as well. Anything I need to watch out for, Elisa?
I don't see any questions coming in right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So member benefits. You didn't really ask about member benefits in the poll, or maybe a couple of you were interested. So I'm going to highlight a couple things and try to kind of shoot through this really quickly. And remember, you're going to get these slides probably within the hour after we finish here. So I want to spotlight the PIHRA workplace because I think it's so valuable. But if you want a full listing, because we have kind of a long list of things that you can access as a member, visit our member page at PIHRA.org/benefits-PIHRA-membership for a full list. So I'm going to focus on the PIHRA workplace, and the PIHRA workplace is powered by Think HR. Now you can't beat this. Our membership is 150 to 125 per year, and you're getting these resources or online tools just to purchase the job description builder or the employee handbook builder, which come with this, it would be $1,000 per year. But there's two things, and I would reverse these things because what I really, if you have an HR question that you need answered immediately because something just kind of blew up at the job site, call PIHRA Live. Call this 855-306-6460. This is a free benefit for all PIHRA members. I think it's underutilized. You have an unlimited amount of times you can call them. They're open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, and you're going to be speaking with senior certified HR practitioners who can help answer the question you have. They'll follow up with any documentation that's relevant and or point you to the right direction. Now, just know they don't replace a corporate counsel or an attorney. Some things that you might need to talk about will require an attorney, but they'll point you into any documentation about like legal summaries about whatever you're asking about, but also don't replace it for legal counsel because you can be on the hook, or your company can be on the hook for a lot of money if you're not doing things in a way that are compliant with laws, especially in California. So also PIHRA Comply, and I'm going to get into some details about it. If you have any trouble accessing these tools, please email me and Elisette. Now you know me. We got 16 of you on the line still, so just reach out to us. We will fix it for you if you're a member. So a little bit about the solutions. I talked about the live advisors. Call them. That's the first thing I would do is call them. You have a compliance library. It's extensive. It has comprehensive checklists, policy templates, examples, legal. They have law summaries for all 50 states. So if you're not just working in California, you're working in Arizona and Texas, and you have operations elsewhere, they're going to have employment law summaries in those areas as well. This employee handbook, if you are kind of a generalist or working for a small company and you need to freshen up that employee handbook, you're going to be a hero with this because it's all kind of, it guides you through creating an employee handbook, and it's going to be compliant with California law. So you could tell this handbook, hey, I'm in California, please include policies that's important for California law, because you know our laws are a lot stricter than the rest of the country. So they have webinars. They also have an enterprise learning system that is not included anymore with the PIHRA. I could not get it included in with the benefits, but there is a discounted price for PIHRA members. And basically what that is an enterprise learning management software. You can train all your employees, and it includes the sexual harassment. You know, depending on the size of your company, you can get it for right around $1,000. I think it's $1,200 per year for a small company, but it does increase in price depending on how many employees you have. So that's a great resource as well. PIHRA Live, you know, I'm just going to flash this in front of you. They'll answer a lot of different questions for you. I just, we are now going to start working from home. As you see, me and Elisette are at home. So we wanted to put together a work from home agreement with our employees. I called them. They gave me 3 different examples, 3. And they sent me some information about any laws in terms of reimbursement of people who are working from home. So awesome, awesome. PIHRA Comply, I've already talked about it. They have a Q&A database, so you could just type in your question if you don't want to speak to somebody. A job description builder, a performance review tools, a salary benchmarking tool, and on and on and on. Again, this is worth at least $3,000 with the live component. You're not going to be able to get this. Now, if you're a Sure member, and some of you are getting this, so we'll just complement the Sure membership, and I'll talk about that in a minute. If you're in transition, or you've been furloughed, you've been looking for a job, you want a better job, try this benefit out. It's actually not called Career Arc anymore. But for these purposes, this is how you will access it until it changes, because we're going to update the website soon. They merged with Into, but it's still the same platform. It's called Your Next Step, and you can research companies, you can get feedback on, or at least take a resume workshop. So you don't get live feedback, but you could take a workshop. You could work on your pitch there. I like the tool where you could actually videotape yourself answering interview questions. I know I need to do that because I flub a lot when I'm speaking publicly, but when you're interviewing, you do need to be careful, because all people are seeing is you on video right now. So practice those interview questions so that you can come off professional and credible, and also in line with what you think the company's culture is, if you really want that job. So this is a great tool. If you have any questions about this, let us know, but you'll get this slide so you'll know how to access it. Volunteer. All those of you who said you want to network, I'm going to show you a bunch of chats. So I better see your name on those chat attendee lists. But volunteer, I cannot emphasize enough. I got this job, and I'll tell you really quickly how. I was the secretary for the first professional chapter of the National Association of Women MBAs. Actually, we were the second professional chapter, but we were the first to get a large sponsorship. And so I worked with my friend that I met through MBA school, Stacy Gordon, and it just so happened I got pregnant, and I kind of had to phase out, but we were working with the Society of Hispanic Engineers at one point, and guess who my boss is now? It was the director of the Society for Hispanic Engineers at that time. And so he knew Stacy, he saw my LinkedIn profile, and he's like, "Stacy, do you know Lily? Tell me a little about it." And long story short, that's how I got this job. So volunteer. That's how people are going to get to know your work ethic. They're going to get to know the quality of your work. They're going to get to know, is Lily someone who's willing to learn? Is she a go-getter? Is she motivated? Is she self-motivated? And that's what people are hiring. Okay. So volunteer. If you have any questions about that, email me. You're going to have my email after, or at least set, and we'll connect you. And I'll spend some time on the phone with you talking about you and how this might work with you, because everyone's unique.
We have a couple of questions about.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll breathe.
So back to Career Arc. Does the interview resource include preparing for a panel interview?
I don't think so. It doesn't create a scenario where you're in a panel. I haven't dug that far. I have gone through a panel interview, and it's a different monster, because there's a stress factor. So I don't think it could replicate that. And I don't know if there were any questions that are different for panel interviews and not, but you can videotape yourself, and that's a little nerve-wracking. So that can kind of simulate the panel interview scenario. But I don't know if there's anything more specific. And if you have more questions, or you want to know about my experience in a panel interview, I don't think it was one of the most stressful positions, or it wasn't as high profile. I've had some other more high profile interviews that kind of stressed me out even more. But I'd love to talk to you about my panel interview experience. So I think just talking to people through that and setting your mind at ease before you go into a panel interview is the best thing to do. But I'm willing to speak to you about it and help you find resources. That's for sure. Anything else?
Great. Yes. 2 more questions. How many hours are required to volunteer, or what schedule? What are some examples of volunteering?
Okay, really quick. So say you want to be a membership chair and work with me and Ellie Set. That can be, it really depends on you. And it depends on the role. The membership chair is probably one of the most time consuming positions. So for example, it would look like you spend a half an hour per month with us on a conference call, and we're just sharing membership numbers with you, sharing campaigns with you, the results of previous campaigns, and then also providing you with an update on what's happening in general. You'll also attend your chapter board meeting. So that's kind of probably an hour or two with your board. Sometimes they meet monthly. It really depends on the chapter, or every other month. And then you may spend between 2 to 3 hours per month just connecting with your members. Now, if you're, for example, at PIHRA South OC, they have 3 membership chairs because their list is 700 people, and they split the list. They'll do a mail merge, just checking in with a personal email. Sometimes they'll even call. Sometimes you'll develop a survey with me, and I'll work with you on that. We're actually rolling out a survey and an engagement platform right now for our chapters, and so that may take you another time, so a little bit more time. So I would say between 5 to 7 hours per month. So hopefully that's a good example of what that would look like, but it depends. Anything
Thanks,
else?
Lily. Yes. Where is a place on the website I can post my resume? And I know we're running out of time.
Yeah, I have 2 minutes. I will stay longer with you, by the way, but we have 2 minutes. So I apologize if this is going long. You know what? Go to PIHRA.org/jobs, and you can post your resume there. And what we'll do in the email is we'll include that. I don't know if we usually do. I think we do. But you can post your resume there, and that will be open to not just our internal folks who are looking for positions, but at our career center. So we have, we partner with a company called Community Brands for our career center. And so they have people looking for HR positions that are outside of our kind of footprint and our little nucleus. And it's throughout California, I believe. So yeah, we'll include that in the email that we send out. Anything else?
Yes. Is PIHRA offering a dual membership with PIHRA and SHRM? If no, why is the dual membership not offered?
So are we offering it? And if not, why? Oh, okay. So I was just about to talk about dual membership. So we did offer dual membership at one point. Unfortunately, it became operationally inefficient. And I think SHRM is working out those kinks. What happens when we do that is that you get your PIHRA membership immediately, but it could take up to a week to 3 weeks without us having a direct contact at SHRM for your SHRM membership to become activated. And that's really it created some dismay for our members, and it created some inefficiencies for us. And right now during the pandemic, we were hit pretty hard by the pandemic, so we really can't spare any extra time right now. So that is why we don't have a dual membership. If you have a special circumstance, we might be able to work things out, but it's very rare and far between that we're able to do that. So hopefully that makes sense. But the dual membership, it makes sense. And I just heard SHRM talking about it. We're like cake and icing. So SHRM, in this instance, it might be your cake, but if you're a PIHRA member, the PIHRA membership is your cake. But we cannot beat SHRM on the cutting edge white papers that they have available on their website. They have great tools and easily accessible tools on their website. They have the HR magazine that I get and I read every month. Actually, I haven't gotten it recently, probably because it's going to the office and I'm at home. Their daily newsletters are like that. If something comes out on the news, they're going to email you about it and how that impacts you at the workplace. So that is a great membership. Now, we do have some of those same resources for half the price. So a lot of people kind of make that decision, and we're focused in California. So everything we do is California based. And then you're not going to be able to get that local connection with the HR community at the SHRM at large level as you do if you're a PIHRA member. So this slide kind of summarizes how we complement each other. But I do know that some people have to make that choice because of the budgetary aspects of having two memberships. So, but if you are like, I need a dual membership and I need you to do this for me, I will look at your situation and see what we can do. Anything else, Elisette, that I could answer?
Yeah, I see one more question that we haven't answered. So back to volunteering. Are volunteer opportunities posted somewhere?
No. So you'd have to reach out to me, and I'm going to connect you with the chapter board or with the area and the people that manage the area that you're interested in. So nothing's posted. We have some general information, which we will include in the email for you. If you go to PIHRA.org, I think it's /volunteer, but not specific positions. Okay. So last but not least, one of the last things I want to cover is the learning and networking with PIHRA. And this is where I have a lot of details. We are over, so thank you so much. I told you I talk a lot. But as a PIHRA member, you get a discounted rate right now for PIHRA members. All of our virtual webinars and chats are free. We do have some conferences that they are not free, but they're very much discounted. For example, our California Employment Law update that's coming up in January. It's a full day of employment law and what's coming down the pike for 2021. For members, it's $99. For non-members, it's $199. And the $199 includes a membership. Now, I think it's Cal Chamber is doing a legal update as well. It's half a day and it's $250. So you're not going to beat our prices, I'll tell you that. And the content, people know us. We've been doing PIHRA Legal Update, I think this is 60 years. It's been a long time. So we know legal update and we do it every year. Chats. I was telling you guys about these. Now this PIHRA.org/chats, it hasn't been updated. So you'll want to go to the PIHRA.org/calendar for all the updated chats, but please set a goal for yourself between now and next June to do at least one per quarter, if not more, so that you could just stay connected. Please stay connected. Don't isolate. Right now, it's so tough. I was just telling Elisette, I wasn't going to bring this up, but this has been a tough week. Just knowing that, our infectious rates are spiking again and that we're not going to be able to spend time with our loved ones and friends for the holidays. So do it virtually, please. Here's some chats that we have going on. PIHRA Gateway Cities on December 2nd, they're having a chat regarding new legislation for 2021, free for members. PIHRA Woodland Hills is having a happy hour. Ask Me Anything with Sherry Shavit. I told you about that one. She's awesome. She'll answer any employment law questions that you have going on. We have paint nights going on. This is the one I just signed up for with PIHRA Inland Valley, because I'm really curious about how flu shots and the vaccine, how that might be affecting businesses and all of us right now. So I signed up for that. These are all free for members, a nominal cost for non-members. So really, that's all I wanted to share with you. If there's any more questions, I can answer them now, and then I'll just finish up with how you can connect with us online.
Yes, I see one other question, and I think we are good unless anyone else has additional questions. I'll keep looking. Back to volunteering. Are volunteer opportunities remote at this time?
Yes. Yes. So we're not doing anything that is face-to-face right now. It's all online. Our boards are meeting online. Our chats are online. Our California conference is online. So we've adapted. It's been quite an interesting year, right, Elisette? But everything is online. Today, Elisette had to go mail some things, and she went on her own to the office and mailed it on her own. So we've been really respecting social distancing. And so absolutely online. Anything else?
I think we answered most of the questions. I don't see any other questions coming in.
I have had so much fun with you guys, and I'm sorry that we went a little late. Please connect with us. We're going to be emailing you within an hour with the slides and with some links for you to access additional information. You'll have our email address so you can reach out to us. Please reach out to me. I promise you, if I don't get back to you today, I'll get back to you within 24 hours in the working week. So maybe not today, but Monday I'll respond. Lisette's really good at responding. You can call us. I'm not as good. I don't get phone calls as much. Lisette gets a phone call. So you can call Lisette, she'll answer, but don't get discouraged. We will call you back or we'll email you back, usually within 24 hours. Reach out, join our LinkedIn group, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Facebook. We got Instagram going nowadays. The PIHRA forum is somewhere where you can post questions and get to know people online. Not super active. I think our Facebook page is a little bit more active. And it was a pleasure spending the last 53 minutes with you. Sorry for going late. My name is Lily Arguello, and I'm here with Lisette. And it's our pleasure to serve you and to serve the HR community in California. Thank you for holding out with us. I think that's it for now. So we'll see you virtually again next month. Bye-bye.